Hey YouTube, Dan Otto here coming at you with a team that's specifically built for Sableye Safe Swap because I always try to build my team against Registeel because Registeels are everywhere, but Sableyes are like super everywhere in the Safe Swap. So I'm coming in with two normal Pokemon, Greedent and DIggersby to take that out. Normal resist the Ghost ×2, so all the Shadow Claws are super resisted, which means that if you see a Sableye on a Safe Swap, you can take Switch no matter what with these two. Put Sable on lead. It doesn't matter what you really have on lead. Not that it does matter, but you need a Pokemon that can deal with three things here. So Greedent and Diggersby are weak to fighting, so you need something that does well against fighters, which is why I put a Ghost there. You need something that can somewhat deal with Registeel because the Diggersby has an amazing matchup, but Focus Blast still hurt, and Greedent has a bad matchup because Focus Blast hurts, plus you don't really have anything to throw at it. So Sableye does well in okay matchups. And then the Altaria is the third one because you have Diggersby, which is just like useless. Everything's resisted. And then Greedent, Bolt Seed resisted, so you can only spam Body Slams, which is not an amazing situation to be in. So Sableye can kind of deal with that there. So if you can find a Pokemon that fits like those three criteria, that's who I would use on the lead. I see Sableye because, again, it is a beast in this league for a reason, and we get a mirror match here. So in this mirror match, I always just try and throw right on Foul Play now because there's no point. You can't deny anymore, right? So might as well just see who wins CMP. So they win CMP. You need to try to draw out a fighter anyways. So I'm fine with throwing this and then bailing into my Greedent here. So we both shield, take down to the one shield. That's okay. And Greedent is spammy. And that's one of the best things about it. And these three, I'm going to talk about this, the fast move here. Because now we have Wing Attack and we have Bullet Seed. And both are the same energy generation. And I didn't realize how much of an advantage I had compared to like people without great internet overseas because all these extra fast moves sneaking in, and these are 3-turn fast moves here. Bolt Seed and Wing Attack are 3-turn fast moves. All this extra energy generation that my opponents are now getting that I used to deny has significantly like decreased my um my not abilities here, but like my edge that I had in this. Out comes the Sableye. Probably going to shield, throw the Foul Play, and then because they're switch locked, Foul Play is going to do a lot. It's not going to take it out. And then I'm just going to come Diggersby here because, again, the Shadow Claws are resisted. Foul Plays aren't going to hurt too much. And then I can just kind of farm down, get ahead on energy. All these extra moves that sneak through are pretty rough if you can't deny or you can't CMP. Because like 3-turn moves add up. Wall Ring comes in. You're weak to ice here, but I'm super spammy, so they're gonna need to and pretty thick. So they're gonna need to throw 2 icicle spears to take me out. And if I remember, they do not throw the second one, and I get to the earthquake. So what I'm actually finding is I think I now prefer Pokemon with 2 or 3 turn fast moves here. Quite honestly. And I get to farm down there for the win. Because I'm finding that. So Jelson lead here. If I remember this matchup, they come Sableye. So here we go. What I'm going to do here is because I already have a claw advantage, I'm just going to throw the Foul Play because I know that it's going to do a decent amount if they don't shield it, and they do. And now I'm immediately going to come Greedent because here we go. Normal, double resist the ghosts. These Shadow Claws are going to do nothing. They can throw Foul Plays. It's going to take 3 to take me out. I'm already at a shield advantage. Now they can get to return here, and I think I do shield up a return on this one. But at this point, the damage is done. Like they are in huge trouble here. I do shield up. I already got 1 shield from them. They do throw a return here, and I'm going to shield it properly. And now they're at a huge disadvantage because not only am I going to take switch here, I'm going to take it with a huge energy advantage and a huge HP advantage. And at this point, the game's pretty much over because I've got this aligned with the Jelson that comes back in. I got my own Sableye aligned with their with this if they decide to go down. So, and I think if I remember them, it's a fairy in the back, and Greens and Diggersby is just so thick. But yeah, so what I'm saying is, I think that I prefer these 2 or 3 turn fast moves. I don't like these 3 versus 3 fast moves are actually very frustrating to me now because like You get a full 30 turn in, but so does your opponent. That's a decent amount of energy for these 3-turn moves. That's why it can be very beneficial if you do it as well, because then you get these huge energy advantages. Why I don't like 4 or 5 right now is because there's enough wiggle room for someone to properly time moves. So Gramble lead here, huge problem. I'm going to come ingredient. They try and catch on the Stunfisk. I do manage to hit them with a Crunch, which is still not a good matchup here, but I can just spam, try and lower their attack as much as I can, and then come in Shadow Claw. And then I gotta actually, before I talk more about the fast move, I gotta talk about something in this matchup because I just filmed this. I was just filming this, and I wanted to talk about this because I was like, I'm gonna do this, and then I actually did the opposite thing, but it's okay because it's still the same sort of idea here. Is one of my moves, if you've been watching me for a while, is so their defense fell for, was that the first time or the second time? I think that was the second time their defense fell. So here we are. I took it down to the 1 shield because I always like taking it down to the 1 if you're going to lose switch. Because I just find like if you're going to lose switch and you're going to know that you're going to have to come back into a super hard loss here, like Sableye versus Gramble, it's terrible. Like I cannot do anything here. So if I can't do it in the 2 shield because then it gives them more opportunity in the back end to like double shield their last Pokemon to take out my Diggersby, even if I have like a good matchup, right? They're just going to double shield, take me down as low as they can, and then just charm down and have no issue. But if I take it down to the 1 shield, I can maybe grab a shield back from either the Gramble or the backline, and then either flip switch or come out with a huge advantage in the ending. So this essentially what's going to happen here. So look, I'm at the foul play. I can throw and take this out right now. But that doesn't really help me when the Gramble is going to come right back on me. So what I'm going to do is I know I end up shielding it. So when I just did this, I said, I'll probably let this go. But you can shield knowing that they're just going to throw the Earthquake because they're only going to get to 1 move. Or you can let this go because then what you're going to see here is I'm now at a return. This is a Shadow Gramble. So even this Shadow Gramble comes in, they know I'm at a return because I just built up a ton. So they're going to have to shield no matter what because a return is going to one-shot and they're not going to let me one-shot a Gramble when I have a dark Pokemon. So I just bait here with the foul play. This is going to grab the last shield and then I'm going to immediately switch into my Diggersby. So what this allows me to do is take this down to the 0 shield. So here we go, Politoed. Terrible matchup for my Diggersby, right? Because I'm gonna lose this because I'm super weak to water. So I've essentially like hard countered here, right? I had a fairy on the lead into my dark. I had a steel into a Pokemon that can throw only non-stab moves here. And now I got a water on my ground. So I'm farming up and I'm like, I could take this out right now, but they're gonna hit me with a move. And I was like, if they took me down to the weather ball, I wouldn't care. Because my win condition now is now a return on Sableye. So I let this go. Like I could have maybe thrown a fire punch, but then I'm worried like I don't think I would have taken them out before they took me out and got a move off. So I let this go. Because now my win condition is just to farm down here, come out with a return, and return a one shot the um return will one shot the Gramble here. So they're not gonna get the 2 charms off, take me out, return one shot there. So that's how I kind of like deal with these tough alignment, right? It's knowing like, can I win switch? No, I cannot win switch. Let's take it down to the 1 shield if I can, because sometimes you can't. But if you can take it down to the 1 shield, it makes it easier in the back end here. Farm up a ton of energy to force their shield because the Shadow Gramble is super glassy that they're not gonna want to shield. They're not gonna want to let that go down. And then understanding I can like farm up and win there or win conditions in the back. So that's just like how I would play sort of those matchups, which you just get from experience. So again, here I'm going to do the same thing what I did in the first matchup is try and throw right on CMP to see if I win CMP. And they try and just sneak through the extra one, which is fine because now I can just immediately go into my Greedent. So now I'm up a shield and they're throwing here, which is fine. I can like take anything here. It is a return, so that's too bad. I would have liked to shield that one and they're not getting out, which is too bad because now I don't think I'm in foul play range, but it's pretty close. So I may shield anyways. I think I can survive this though. I probably could have survived it, but I don't want to take that chance. And they catch on a Skarmory. And again, we saw this matchup as well. Skarmory is a little tough here because Bullet Seeds are resisted. And the problem is now I'm too low. So even though I can get a bunch, and then here's your first three moves, right? I need to throw. They can farm. And this is where I'm going to pause right here because this is actually an exact situation why I hate all these moves going through. There's nothing I can do here. I'm screwed. I can tell you right now, I'm going to lose this match because of this exact scenario. So if you can ever get yourself in this scenario, this is what you want to do. I'm in farm down range. I'm not, Bullet Seeds are resisted. I'm not going to get to the 4 crunches I need to take this out. So they can just farm. Because we're 3 versus 3, like Bolt Seed and the Wing Attack is both 3 turn moves, they're sneaking in an extra Wing Attack for every move that I throw here. So they've already snuck in 1. And I'm going to throw again here, and there's the second one there. So they just got 2 extra energy here. So now, not only am I going to lose this switch, they're basically almost going to be at 100 energy here. So no matter what I come in with, they're going to like hit me hard. So I'm like, okay, if you're going to hit something, let's just hit the Diggersby. It's a sky attack. But again, even before I can get to this, this is a Brave Bird because they snuck in those extra 2 moves. So if you, and now I'm like, I don't know what they have. I'll farm up as much as I can, hit them with this. And then I don't know what they're going to have in the back end. I remember losing this matchup because you're essentially, you're not drawing dead, but you're essentially in just a huge hole that you cannot get out of. So they come in here. So I'm guessing like maybe they are weak to this in the back, but I think they just wanted me to dump my energy because they knew I farmed up, and then it's an Azu. Um, so I think I tried like I could try and get the Earthquake, try and get the return, but at this point, I think I catch an Ice Beam too. Like I think I make a good play and catch the Ice Beam on the Sableye right before I get to the move. I expect them to throw right before I get to the move to take me out. So I catch this Ice Beam, but I can't get to return because I'm dry on energy. So they take me out and then they take out my Diggersby. Um, so yeah, if you can get yourself into a situation where you can farm a ton and try and sneak in those extra moves and not have to worry about like being taken out, it just like puts them at a huge advantage that like I would normally deny. Because if I didn't have to shield that Brave Bird, I would have had a shield for this matchup, and this one would have been a lot closer. But they've snuck in those 2 extras, so that's that. This is a rough matchup. Sableye versus Walrein is a tough matchup anyways. I wanted to try and catch, but I just got caught in the animation, so I'm probably going to have to shield anyways. But at this point, I'll just, again, take this down to the 1 shield. I'll throw here. Maybe go 1 more claw and then switch, or I just may switch immediately. 1 more claw and then switch, that's fine. And they're not getting out. And again, always in this situation, I always let it go because they could come in with a hard counter here, like a fighter. So I don't want to shield unnecessarily if they're just going to punish me anyways. And now they're double throwing here. So I'm like, okay, that will take me low and it will hurt, but hopefully I can just survive this and get some chip damage off here, and I can. The problem is Drapion, and Drapion is spammy, and I was like, that is really quick, and it's much worse because now they have an Aqua Tail. And I'm like, oh no, so now that does super effective against the Diggersby. So that's unfortunate, but I gotta just try and commit to Diggersby here because Sableye is gonna have a rough matchup. I know I could take 1 Aqua Tail for sure because Diggersby is extremely thick and it's non-stab. Still, that really hurts. I'm gonna build up the Earthquake, hoping they shield or hoping this Fire Punch takes it out anyways. It does not though, if I remember. So, okay. Probably gonna have to shield. I let it go. Okay. So still in the 1 shield. I've got a bunch of energy. And out comes the Walrein. So I'm gonna hit this with the Earthquake right away, because then I think like, okay, if they shield, then maybe I can just come Sableye and get ahead. But they let it go. And out comes a Nidoqueen. And I was like, okay, that's almost like my win condition there was them letting this go. Because now I can just come in here. They gotta shield this or else it's gonna hurt. Um, and then I'm like, okay, they're gonna they can't bait me here, so they're gonna earth power me. But I think my win condition anyways is just this because these poison jabs are super resisted. And I'm gonna get to an earthquake to take you out and one shot you before you take me out, even with the poison fang, poison jab combo here. Poison fang there, but doesn't matter. I'm at the move. Earthquake for the win. I think if they shielded that Walrein, I probably would have been in more trouble. But got the win there. So anyways, double normal team. I I don't I don't have a next team yet. I'm still kind of just working. I've got other Pokemon I want to use. I want to try and go non-XL because I think people enjoy those non-XL teams. But maybe I won't because I like Diggersby was actually really, really interesting. Because they're just Pokemon that like delete it so fast, like fighters and stuff like that. But like if you get against like a Gland Stunfisk or you get against the Sableye, it's just like a pretty strong matchup that you can like keep switch. So it's not bad, but you need to cover your weaknesses. Anyways, as a team, um, hope the season's going for you well. I dropped a little bit, so it's gonna take me a little while to get to legend, but maybe I'll find a team. I'm one of those things like if you watch my like past few seasons, now it's like I can quickly find a team and go like 400 yellow in like 4 days with it. So just trying to put together new teams, trying out new Pokemon. So I'm not too worried yet. I'll start worrying about Legend a little later, but hope that helps. Yeah, trying to get something for that Sableye save swap. Thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next one.